Hi guys, welcome to another lesson of time. Today we're going to look at some problems that involve quarter to and quarter past times and knowing what a quarter of an hour is. So let's get started. Okay guys, this problem reads, Benny looked at the clock. It was 4:30. He had to be home in a quarter of an hour. What time does Benny need to be home? So this is a multi-step problem. We need to take a few steps to figure out the answer. So I'm going to circle the first part of the problem in pink. So it said Benny looked at the clock, it was 4:30. We need to do something with this information first before we can solve the problem. So let's use this first clock to draw the time 4:30. So we know that 30 means that it's travelled halfway around the clock. So the minute hand is going to be down here. And the hour hand is just going to be past the 4. So that's showing 4:30. Now let's read the rest of this word problem again. He had to be home in a quarter of an hour. What time does Benny need to be home? Okay, we know a quarter of an hour is a quarter of the clock. So if we divide this clock into quarters, the hand is currently here on the 6. If it travels a quarter of the clock, it will travel up to the 9. So let's draw that new time now on this clock here. So the minute hand will now be on the 9, and the hour hand will just have moved a little bit further past the 4. Now what we need to do is, what time does Benny need to be home? We need to be able to read the time on this clock to answer the question. So remember, when the minute hand is on the 9, it's quarter to something because it's only got a quarter of the way to travel till it gets to the next o'clock time. So the answer to this one is going to be quarter to, and what is that hand almost pointing to? The 5. So it is quarter to 5. So Benny needs to be home at quarter to 5. Here's another time word problem. James is going to the movies. It is now 3:30. The movie he is seeing starts at 4:15. It takes a quarter of an hour to get to the cinema. Will he be there on time? This is another multi-step problem. So let's go through and highlight the key information we're going to use to help us answer this question. So the times that are included in here are really important. I don't think it really matters that he's going to the movies. That's not going to affect our answer. It is now 3:30. Definitely 3:30 is some key information. The movie he is seeing starts at 4:15. Again, 4:15 is really important information to solving this problem. It takes a quarter of an hour to get to the cinema. So this quarter of an hour is also really important. This is the information we need to use to figure out our answer. So I'm going to start with this bit of information up here, 3:30. I'm going to draw that time on the clock. So 3:30 is like 3:30. So the minute hand will be on the 6, and the hour hand will just be past the 3. Okay, it's the 3:30. We know the movie starts at 4:15. So I'm going to use this next bit of information and draw it on the second clock I have here. So 4:15, we know that this 15 means it's a quarter past. Okay, so that means the hand has moved a quarter of the way around the clock, and it's 4:15. So the hour hand is just past the 4. Now, this next bit of information, where it says it takes a quarter of an hour to get to the cinema. If it's now 3:30 and it takes a quarter of an hour, we need to know what time that is. So let's divide this clock into quarters and see if this hand was to move a quarter of the way around the clock, it would then be on the 9. Okay? If he needs to be at the cinema by 4:15, is he going to be there on time? This clock over here is showing 4:15. And this clock over here with the new time where the minute hand has moved a quarter of the way around the clock is now showing 3:45. So is James going to make it to the movies? He definitely will, because 3:45 gives him plenty of time before the movie starts. So the answer to this question is a big yes. Okay, this is the last problem we're going to do together, and then it's going to be up to you to have a go at solving some on your own. This says, Maddie's mum is in a hurry. She said she needs to leave home in 2/4 of an hour. Maddie looks at the clock. It is now 8:15. What time will they leave home? Again, we need to go and circle the key information. Maddie's mum is in a hurry is not important information that's going to help us solve this problem. She said she needs to leave home in 2/4 of an hour. This part here, 2/4 of an hour, is important information that we're going to have to use to solve the problem. Maddie looks at the clock. It is now 8:15. So now 8:15 is really important. What time will they leave home? Okay, so let's start with that. Let's draw 8:15 on our first clock. So we know that that means the minute hand is going to be on the 3 because it's 15 or quarter past, and the hour hand is just going to be past the 8. Okay, now it says she needs to leave home in 2/4 of an hour. So remember, if I divide this clock into quarters, and it's 2/4, that's 1/4, 2/4, so 1, 2. The minute hand would now end up on the 9. Let's go and draw this new time on our second clock. So now the minute hand is on the 9, and the hour hand is a little bit further past the 8. Okay, so reading that time, we know that when the hand is on this side of the clock, it's something 2, and we know when it's on the 9, it's only got a quarter of the clock to travel till it's the next o'clock time. So this is 1/4. What's it going to be? It's going to be 9 o'clock soon. So the answer to this is, what time will they leave home? They will leave home at 8:45. Okay guys, now you're going to go back to the wiki and read the instructions to look at what you need to do to solve some time problems. Good luck.